I don't know. I don't know if Ron's gonna join back in. I just sent him the link. Oh, you just have a contact. Wow. Wow. Oh, that is dog.
You said he getting back in?
I sent him a link, but I don't know if he's. He'll get back in if he's sick.
All right. I was fucking driving out goddamn Upper Marlboro, man.
That's a dead zone. A lot of around. I mean, did you get to your last location? Okay. No sound. Oh, heard your GPS.
The first one was me dropping going in, and then I got it back for a little bit, and then going back out, that shit completely dropped. I'm like, God damn, that shit was crazy.
Yeah, there was another thing that we talked about in that group chat real quick.
I know. That's why I was trying to figure it out.
Let me go back a little bit.
But let's let you. So Brian.
Yes.
Earlier today, James crybaby bitch ass Harden.
You make me want to shave my beard off is what I'm trying to say.
No, you'll look like him without a beard.
I think I look better than him without a beard. Listen, I look better than him with or without a beard. Let's just
look, man. He got the millions of dollars. He's out with. He's on that. He's. You know what? Funny. What's funny, man? Because I think. John Wall and him have a lot in common. Honestly, I'm gonna say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. I mean, like John Wall is the king.
Nah, you got to unpack that. You can't just say that.
Nah, I think John Wall was the king of Rose Bar. But I think John and they both dogs. They both can play basketball at the end of the day. Yeah, but I think
John Wall is loyal and wanted to plant his toes in.
I would want John Wall on my team before Harden.
Oh, absolutely. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that they have some.
Brian, they said, man, listen.
I didn't say John Wall.
James Harden had Tristan move heaven and earth the way he wanted to.
Right now, John Wall's not playing because he wants all his monies. That's it. That is one thing. Like he can get a buyout right now. He's not stopped. Like the Rockets would be happy to buy him out at like 75% of his contract.
Well, they try to move him to LA, right?
LA,
LA declined it.
There was some rumors. But yeah, we don't know. I don't know. I mean, I think the best way to go for if I was the Rockets, it would be a buyout. It probably would have been a buyout in September, not right now.
Don ain't taking no buyout.
Who won the trade today between Philly and Brooklyn?
Philly.
Did they?
Yeah. Philly won the trade for right now. Because what Philly was able to do was get rid of somebody who's not in their future, who wasn't like they were already mentally done with Ben Simmons. So moving Ben Simmons, moving the unhealthy Seth Curry, the picks go in Brooklyn's favor, but for right now, they're trying to win right now. So we're talking for the right now. you save them because
So is Brooklyn.
James Harden's going to come out motivated and show he still got it. He's going to try to show that it's not his fault that they lost 8 straight. He's going to put on he's going to be on his best behavior from a basketball standpoint, just like he was when he went to Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Does Philly reach the NBA Finals with this squad?
No, neither one of them are better than the Bucks today. Neither one of them are better than Miami today because they play better as a team. I'd venture to say I would put money in a 7-game series on the Bucks, on the Heat, and on the Celtics against either one of those teams.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Because they play as a team.
I would say that the Nets have a better chance out of anybody against the Bucks, other than the Heat. But I like Ben Simmons, passing to KD, passing to Kyrie. I like Ben Simmons as a big, handling the ball and being able to distribute to KD and Kyrie Irving.
Kyrie can't play at home. So you basically hoping on a 7-game series so he can play 3 of the games.
Yeah,
that's crazy, bro. They're gonna lift that. They're gonna lift that. They're gonna lift that. I think they're gonna lift that mandate soon. But yeah, I agree. It's fun. That is true.
It's crazy in the world where you mandated to have to take a vaccine, and I'm not saying whether I'm vaccinated, but that doesn't me being vaccinated personally has nothing to do with my opinion or whether or not it should be mandated. That's one thing. But on the flip side, you getting a grant, a $30 million grant to give clean fucking crack pipes out.
Oh my God! Oh God! Like that's the
I think that was exaggerated, bro. I need to read into that. People are saying that was exaggerated. I need to read into that.
Exaggerated. There should be zero truth to that.
No. Wait. I don't think there should be zero truth to that. I don't think so.
What?
Did you watch The Wire? Did you watch The Wire? Ron, did you watch The Wire?
Of course, yeah.
Okay, so what did the police chief or the quadrant chief did? What was it called? Amsterdam? It was called Amsterdam?
It was, right? I believe it. Yeah, I believe so.
It's a drug inclusion zone, right? It's all drugs good. We're good here, something, right?
It was designed to be a preventative, right? That's what it was.
It dropped in his section by like 75% or some dumb shit.
It's a TV show.
It's not a TV show.
It's based off.
Wait, Ron, wait. Because it's Baltimore history. Kurt Smoke was a mayor in Baltimore in the early 90s when I was a kid, and he brought that idea up, and it was ridiculed then in the 1990s. So it's not a TV show. It's actually like.
It's actually based off of.
Yeah, there's based off data. There's data-driven shit that does like you can see it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
in different places.
Explain to me how giving crackheads clean pipes makes something better.
I think it's clean pipe for methamphetamine heads, but it's more so. But yes, but there's more for methamphetamine heads than crackheads, especially in 2021. But
what is it?
I don't know exactly. I don't know exactly what I don't know what it is exactly. I saw some things online and I didn't look into it, so I didn't know. I didn't know it's going to come up this. I didn't know it was going to come up today. But
we're not talking about it. But I'm just saying that's the world we're in.
What I'm saying is.
That was a crazy segue from James Harden to crack pipes.
Like I don't know. I think he can sue us. I think he can probably sue us if he heard this. Out of the 10 people that hear this every day, he probably get sue us. No, what I'm saying is what I'll say is this: clean pipes, clean needles, clean areas to do whatever you want to do in or safe areas, let me just say that safe areas helps with drugs, helps with crime prevention. And I will also say that we're gonna, since we're in the political ground right now, and we're talking about the crime rate going up, it's going up in DC and it's going up in Prince George County around where I live, where I invested in, we have invested in. I will say that the police is the end game of crime, and we should always look at the beginning of crime. The beginning of crime is kids don't get to eat when they're 3, 4, 5 years old. They don't get to sleep in beds. They don't get the correct education. They don't get things that places with more affluential parents get. And we should think about that before we think about, oh, let's hire more cops to get rid of all this riffraff, as the white man would say. That's the end game. That's the end result. You're looking at the beginning. You look at the end, and you're always going to be chasing your tail if you look at it like that. They're cleanup people. The police are societal janitors. No disrespect to the housekeeper. They're keeping house. They're keeping house, and you don't want to always leave a place messy for the housekeeper. And that's what we're doing as a society, in my opinion. So we can talk about crack pipes and methamphetamine pipes. They giving $3 million to them, dash that and third.
30 million.
And it is what it is. But I don't know. I haven't looked at the policy. I don't know. But yeah, like I said, man, police is the end game. That's the last guy. That by the time the person gets arrested and convicted, if they're not innocent, if they haven't been scapegoated and wrongly accused, that's a hardened criminal by now. His mindset is already there. You need to get that person's mindset different at 4. You need to get that lead poison out of his pipes at 4, at 3, at 2, at fucking newborn. You understand? You need to get his brain healthy at fucking newborn age, prenatal. Let's keep it all the way 100. Like we talk about all this. Oh, you need to be personally accountable. You need to be personally accountable. How much lead does that man have in his body? How much discipline had he get? Because he was doing Oklahoma's for 5 hours for 4 days in his Pee Wee fucking football league. Let's get it right, all the way right. Our brains lead to a lot of shit, especially we're in a fucking deficit of fucking what's actually needed to actually have a great life here in America or anywhere else. All right, and I'm done with political shit. Okay.
Listen, you had the floor completely, because I believe, just like I can speak for Ron, we completely agree with you. We're going to take a 1-minute intermission, and then we're going to get into some Whoopi Goldberg /
No, I did not. I heard she got
India Ari /
yeah. Okay. All right, the Joe Rogan. All right, bet.
Joe Rogan.
Okay.
/ Joe Rogan.
You got it. What time is it?
You got 10:30 out there?
Yeah, it's 10:30 here. Like another 30 minutes. My wife loves to hate on me. She said, "What's up, bro?" Ron's the only one on the line.
Hello.
T's out like doing his drop-offs, his hostile. He's had a hostile sale. It actually did well this week. So
That's
We're
what's
gonna talk
up.
about Joe Kirby.
I saw the packages.
What you want to talk about? Wait. What do you want to talk about? Girl stuff. Horoscopes. No, we're not. You know what? That day stuff, that was interesting. I think each one of us should do that. She had a when the day you're born, and it was like they had a description of a synopsis of who you are, basically.
Oh yeah, listen. I wholeheartedly believe in that stuff, man.
Ron's a believer, so it could work on when we need a podcast. Right? I need to get Liz or not Liz, but I should Liz, Burn and definitely Chris doing his thing out in Tampa. Oh man, we just needed like the 15-11 thing.
Yeah.
The 15-11 episode. You know what I mean? But absolutely.
Yeah, I've broken it. I've been what am I trying to say? I've been told where I should be as far as living. I've been told where
that is that deep for you? And they went that way?
It goes
wow.
Yeah. It goes to where I should be, where I manifest and where I benefit the most energy from, as far as on earth, like on. Yeah.
Yeah, no. Now it was like a book page.
Uh-huh.
And it was like the date. The people that are born on this day, this is what their attributes are. This is what their weaknesses and like shit like that. And it was like, it was for her. It was really, really spot on.
I would, if I can convince her to get on on the camera. I have somewhat of a spiritual advisor. So
okay.
Her name is Kaya Monet, and if I can actually, it's gonna how they say, pulling teeth. I'm trying to get her on camera, but if I could get her on camera, man, she got a lot of knowledge, man. She really does.
She can be off camera. She can do her her spiritual wisdom off camera. She can be. We could you can be on camera. And she can be to the side and just say what she feels.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. I'll listen. I'll definitely I'll let her know. I'll pitch it to her.
That's what's up, man.
Get a feeling of how she feels about it. Most definitely.
Tell her your birthday.
For sure.
I got an episode idea. I think because I think about this a lot, like how we're gonna like grow this or because there's a lot of talking head like podcasts and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also a lot of docu-series podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
Or like but there's not a lot of Black docu-series podcasts. And one of the things, because we started sports, we're technically a sports podcast. We're it's a male-driven sports podcast. We talk about different shit, but to me it's still that to the core at its core. That I think we can do a lot of long form stories, especially like with Twitter being so, like, people being so accessible with Twitter and social media period.
Right.
Like with this the drama with not the drama. I've been thinking about on a sports level. I've been thinking about like, why is the quarterback such a hard position to learn, and why isn't there so many? There's only so many even adequate average QBs. Like there's so many guys. There's only so many guys that just can run a program. Probably 5 or 6 guys. There's probably 3 guys. There's Aaron Rodgers. There's this guy's coming up. There's like Justin Herbert, Russell Wilson, Lamar Jackson doing his thing.
I like the boy that's in the Super Bowl this weekend, man.
Burrow and
like Joe Burr.
Beasley.
Like Joe Burr, man.
So and Tom Brady, he retired, but like there's like 5 or 6 guys that are just even above average. That probably like there's this the top tier Pat Mahomes. My bad, Pat Mahomes there too.
Oh yeah, Pat Mahomes, yeah.
You call him elite, whatever you want to call him, elite. Then you say above average, like Stafford, who's in the Super Bowl, of course. And probably like 4 or 5 other guys. You can debate who those guys are.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And there's the touch below. There's the average guy, right?
Right.
So like a guy like Kirk Cousins to me is average because he can have go whole streaks where he's above average. Even maybe hits the elite. He hits the elite level. But then there's whole streaks where who is this guy?
He'll have like 4 or 5 amazing games.
Then it's nothing.
And then the rest of the season is just like, who is this guy? Yeah.
Why is he?
Why is he even right? Yeah.
So what I wanted to do.
Good question, man. Listen. I have so many. There's a lot of layers. There's a lot of layers on that onion, B. For me, there's a lot of layers on that onion, man. Especially what I feel about about the black quarterback, to be honest with you.
So what I wanted to do was there's a QB coach who does that works with a lot of he's a black guy, works with a lot of black prospects.
Okay.
We work with Griffin, work with Jackson, work with a couple guys, you know what I mean? And I wanted to DM him and see if I could get him on record, not even on the episode. I don't want him to get on him. So I just want to have a conversation with him to get him on record.
Get your journalism on.
Yeah, I want to try to get a approach to this to this episode that we're going to build. Okay. And get his ideas on. Because my thing, I'm thinking, yo, why can't you just get a quarterback that can get to average level? What is average level, and why is that process repeatable? You know what I mean? Can you repeat that process? Can coach a guy who has all the traits and throw the fucking ball 50 yards or hit all the throws, outs, ins, flies, whatever. You know what I mean?
Reading the defense.
Read defenses. Like how do you
being able to audible?
Can you make that process as repeatable as possible? Of course, there's variables. It's a human nature game, right?
Yeah.
But can you make that process as repeatable as possible? Like, how do you do that? That's what I wanted to ask. His name's Quentin Avery, right? So he's been on a couple of other podcasts. So I want to pick his brain on that.
And then honestly, I mean, a lot of that honestly fitting into the right system.
There's a bunch of
it's a lot of layers, B.
Variables that come together, right?
It's a lot of layers, man.
So what I wanted to ask him was, how does that affect black quarterbacks from different communities? And what I also wanted to ask him was, is there like a process that he thinks makes sense at that level, between college and NFL level, that can get more guys that could get more guys to a place where they're average. You're not Pat Mahomes, but the more average guys that have all the traits of Pat Mahomes, there's a bunch of guys that can run around in the pocket. There's a bunch of guys that can flick their arm and throw. There's a bunch of guys. Malik Willis right now, he's going to be a first round pick.
Willis, yeah.
Wherever he's
Malik Willis is going to be fun.
He can flick the fucking ball 80 yards.
Yeah.
Do I think he's going to translate? I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know. Who knows?
That's where, right? That's where. Golly, man, I would love.
Robert Griffin III was good in his first year. He can flip the ball 80 yards. His release was as fast as anybody in the fucking league. What is it? Like, is it the release? Is it arm motion? Is it the thought process? Like, where do people go wrong first? I just need to know, man.
I mean, as far as you mean on technique level, you're saying?
Yeah, is it technique? Is it coaching? Is it the system that this one particular guy goes through?
Well, it's no different. I don't think it's any different from. You look at somebody. You know what? The game evolves, right? The game changes. The game evolves.
Yeah.
Look at somebody like even somebody like a Steph Curry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's shooting the ball 40 plus feet out, and it looks like he's just launching it.
No, that's skill though.
That's skill.
Mm-hmm.
That's skill. But to somebody that's just right, he just looks like he's just launching it. But there's a skill behind it.
Yeah, like I mean, Gilbert probably was one of the.
Gilbert was another one. Yeah. Gilbert had the same thing.
Yeah, so it's just like because my team is looking for a quarterback. The quarterback they had, it was a backup quarterback, obviously, but like so many teams are so desperate. There's so many teams so desperate for quarterback talent that it's like it can't be. How is this not a repeatable process? So why is it you can find a defensive tackle in the 6th round that can be a Pro Bowler? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But I can't find a quarterback, like a backup quarterback. At that.
You can't find a quarterback because you're disrespectful.
What's that?
You're disrespectful. That's why you can't find a quarterback.
Oh wow, I'm the disrespectful one.
Yeah.
Okay.
You wanna know how you disrespectful? You came out your mouth.
What?
You came out your mouth and said.
What I say?
Yeah, plenty of quarterbacks that got what Patrick Mahomes has. That's disrespectful.
If you look, wait. You're talking about everything that he has 5 years in. I'm not talking about there's a lot of guys that can be
running in the pocket. You limit him, Brian. You limit him to moving in the pocket and can sling the ball around. That's all he does.
I said flick the ball 80 yards with the release that he had.
80 yards. If it's that simple and it's that many Patrick Mahomes.
I didn't say it was that simple. I didn't say it was that simple. I'm asking the question. Why can't a guy there's a bunch of guys that can move just like Pat Mahomes moved in college, right? Just like him. Because obviously it's just like him because Pat Mahomes got drafted at 10 or 15, right? In his draft class, right?
Okay.
Am I correct? He wasn't the number 101, was he?
You know why? Because of that same thinking. That same thinking.
Was he Trevor Lawrence?
The same thinking. The thinking of, he's doing what everybody else do. Then that means you're not paying attention to what he does do that nobody else does. Listen, Tom Brady went in the 6th round because they were focused on the wrong shit. But if you watch Michigan football and you watch Tom Brady when he played, he showed you that he was at least better than a 6th round draft pick. So focusing on to have a agile quarterback is a great asset.
Well, they focused on a lot of wrong things with Brady. Like let's be honest. Like he wasn't athletic. He wasn't athletic looking.
He wasn't liked.
Yeah,
Tom Brady wasn't liked. Number one, you go to a college where you have a lot of rivals.
Right.
And he wasn't liked within his own college. He got
okay, cool. Pat Mahomes is an outlier. Cool.
Yes.
Can I talk about Josh Allen?
No, you could. Now, had you said Lamar Jackson, that one okay.
Let's talk about Josh Allen.
Okay.
6'5" guy can throw the ball a ton. He was inaccurate his whole college career. but then all of a sudden turns accurate in NFL. Why is that not a repeatable thing? He has all the tools, like all the prototypical tools. He's Blaine Gabbert. He's Jake Locker. Why did they fail and Josh Allen didn't?
Because I think that's where I think the layers get peeled because because I think he went into the right system. He went into the right.
There was a right culture there. They was like, yo, we don't have another choice other than to try to develop this guy.
Listen, Josh Allen in a Jets uniform.
Would have failed.
Yeah, that's called Josh Allen in a Jets uniform is Josh Rosen.
Right.
So what I'm saying is, so maybe Pat Mahomes wasn't the right name to say, because you can obviously do what you did and you know, like strike what I was saying down. But Josh Allen is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Why isn't that, like, Josh Allen obviously has separated himself, right, into a top 5, top 6 spot in the NFL as a quarterback?
Yeah.
Why isn't a guy that
several things come into play.
Okay.
One, obviously, the actual player's desire to be better, the ability to.
We don't know that. We can't judge that. Okay.
I don't know if you put yourself in these situations, Brian, but as a player, I may not have been in the NFL, but I played sports. I wanted to be a better shooter. You know how I became a better shooter? Because I started looking at why I wasn't shooting well. I started looking at people who did shoot well, and I listened to people who could shoot well. Therefore, my ability to shoot the ball became better. When I looked at the things that I did well and said, okay, I'm doing it, just naturally doing it. How can I make this? How can I do it on purpose? Some people are good on accident. And that's a in your head thing. You have to want to be better in your head. You got to say, oh, I'm fast and I can juke people. Why? Why can you juke people? Like, it's a lot of, you said it, there's a lot of fast players. You can look at their 40s, whether they running backs, wide receivers, whatever, but they can't juke nobody. They can't make nobody miss because they don't know how to move their hips. They don't know how to do these things. So to be able to say, what am I doing badly, or how can I fix what I'm doing? That's the step. That's number one. You need that because you can have the greatest coach in the world, a la Bill Belichick, and then have a quarterback who has a name coming out of college like a Blaine Gabbert, and it don't work. It don't work because the player doesn't have the tools up top. You can have the arm, the legs, the body, but if you don't have the mind, then it don't matter. Then you got to take into consideration where they come from. What's their desire? You got a guy who don't need
that sauce got to be right.
If you got a guy who's never really needed the football check to have a nice life, like what's the kid that went to Cleveland? Manziel. Manziel didn't need NFL money. His family's rich, so a lot of his opportunities were squandered because he didn't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Now, that obviously some players some players make it, and that's their goal. I made it. Some of them you got to keep.
Well, listen. There's been people. Listen, there have been a lot of athletes that have worked their asses off just to get to the professional level.
Exactly.
To say to themselves, I have the check now. And now I can get my mom out the projects. I can get my mom that house. I can get, my mom, and that was the goal.
There's that. Then there's the next level. There's the guy who had people tell him he wasn't going to be able to do it, and then he did it and feels like, oh, I've done it. Yeah. Like, no, the work just now starts. Dwayne Haskins, the work starts now. Once you get drafted, now the work starts. Not once you got those guys who think they've already made it. Like, bro, you got legends ahead of you.
But what I'm saying is, T, that's all they got to the big leagues for.
Yeah, I agree. But that some of them just get to the big leagues to get the check.
To get the check.
I did it. But then some of them actually think that they're on the path to greatness just because they got there. They get drafted. Listen, If Dwayne Haskins does not go drafted in the first round, say if he doesn't get drafted in the first, he drops to at least the fourth round. You have a different Dwayne Haskins on your hands. Now,
mentally, yeah.
He may be marginally better just because he has something to prove. Or you might have dodged the fucking bullet and he's another practice squad quarterback and you've saved yourself a hell of a fucking headache because he don't have what it takes up top. Because the quarterback position is so much more mental than physical. So being a runner, being a big arm, those things are secondary. When you think about Brett Favre, Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, and Tom Brady, the first things you talk about them have nothing to do with their physical attributes. Nothing. Now you start ranking their physical attributes second and third. Then that's enough. Now, that's only hold up, and it's another. So I said the mental. Then there's the coaching. Then there's the roster and the culture. All those things take place. So you say Josh Allen. Josh Allen, his first year wasn't that good.
No, it wasn't.
But then they got him a slot receiver. Then they got him a over top receiver. Now he got weapons.
Well, I mean, we can take a look at the Rams and the Rams and Lions situation. Matthew Stafford. That's a great example.
You pour him out of a bad situation.
He's an above average quarterback that's better than Goff. Goff is probably an average guy.
But you put him in the right system with Sean McVay.
Right. With weapons,
you put talented weapons around him, and look where he is.
So okay. So let me boil it back my thought back down, and because I agree with everything you guys are saying. It's a lot of variables to how you succeed, right? My thing is, like, how did the Redskins, Washington football team, Commanders, whatever you want to call them now, find Gus Frerotte in the fourth round, and then 2 years later find Trent Green, and like there's a lot more, and then they had Jeff Hostetler, and then they had Rich Gannon. Rich Gannon actually went to a Super Bowl in 2004, but he was in the league for 12 years before he did that.
Well, right.
So where are those guys? Those guys are non-existent right now. That's not happening. So why is that not happening? There's a issue there. There's an issue there. So like I think that all those things, everything you Ron and definitely T said, there's coaching, there's mental, there's the talent around, and all of those things, and then the attitude of the player itself.
Yeah.
All those things come into play. But I also feel what I'm saying is this: you get all these talented guys. There's 100 talented guys. So there's probably 10 talented guys. It's just as to me 10. I'm just saying 10. Just as talented. I don't want to Justin Herbert. Just as talented as Justin Herbert, right? 10 guys. Because when I said Pat Mahomes, T went crazy. 10 guys can flick it strong, fast release, and can move and can anticipate in the pocket, right? There's 10 guys. Why does only 2 make it? Why does only 2 make it? I think there is and to me, yes, there's coaching. There's he wasn't a priority. There was the players' apathy. Those things all taken into consideration. There's a parachute. There's a not a parachute, but a balloon. Whatever. What do you call it when you can land into a cushion? There's an inflatable balloon for that quarterback position. Yeah. That we can find. There's a bottom that's not past everybody's expectations, or fail, you're out the league, period, you're trash. You know what I mean? I think there's somewhere in there that says you know, you're a backup or you're a starter that can get five, can win 9 games. You know what I mean? Or 10 games now. It's the 10-7 league.
It's a tough question, man, because you have somebody you got somebody like a Ryan Leaf, right? Somebody like a Ryan Leaf.
Right.
Great example, right?
You don't know what you don't know.
Right.
And fortunately for me in my career, I'm in the position to hire people or assist in hiring people.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a fact. I think I've been in 3 rounds of this, of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like they can tell you everything
Mm-hmm.
you want to hear.
Mm-hmm. It looks good on paper.
Until you send the offer letter, they come in, they pass the background check, and they're in your building. That you don't know whether they can do or don't want to do what you know what I mean? Or
I totally get it. Yeah. You got guys that have a Ryan Leaf story, and you got guys that have a Kurt Warner story, right?
And that goes exactly to what I was saying earlier. That goes back to that first piece. Like you, Brian, I hire people, and you sit down with them, and they tell you one thing, but their actions tell you something different. And that's how you judge. You judge people on their actions. Now, we as fans only see the on-field product.
True.
We don't see the practice. We don't see when you doing the film room and their eyes are wandering. We don't see them. We don't see how they are in film study. We don't see them in practice to see if they're practicing in-game stuff or are they just throwing the ball. Like, what are they working on? Like, what are they doing with their free time?
Correct, T. You're absolutely correct.
Like this.
You say that, but even at the backup level, why does a Mettenberger get multiple chances? Why does a Charlie White first get multiple chances? There's people that got multiple chances that
quarterbacks just get multiple chances.
Because you know what it is, B? You know what it is? They don't. I'll tell you exactly what that is. They don't ruffle feathers.
Bingo.
They don't get to the team. They're a great teammate. Or they're in the study room. They're doing things.
They do not threaten the ego of the starting quarterback.
Exactly. And they don't ruffle the feathers of the offensive coordinators and the head coaches. They come in and they're good boys, so to speak.
Any situation where there's a quarterback controversy, it's because the backup. It's not just because the starter isn't playing well. It's because the backup quarterback don't want to be a backup. There's some back. Jason Garrett is a great example. Jason Garrett sat on the Cowboys bench his whole career behind Troy Aikman. This dude went on to be a head coach, so it's not like he don't know the game. Not saying he's a great head coach, but he has a winning record. But I'm saying he went on to be a head coach in the NFL, so obviously
that's a perfect example. Even in the coaching field, Jason Garrett is not Barry Switzer. Jason Garrett was not Jimmy Johnson. Okay, Barry Switzer went into the Cowboy Stadium knowing that Jerry Jones was Jerry Jones, and he's like, "Yes, sir, absolutely, sir, I will play." You know what I'm saying? Like
a lot of the NFL it's
ego driven.
It's hat in hand. You got to be a hat in hand type of person.
That's why it transforms so many of us in our communities to coons.
Look at the positions.
Say that again for the people in the back. Say that one more time for the people in the back, because that's all it is.
It turns so many of us into coons. I'm gonna just keep it honest.
It causes a lot of us to call other people coons.
No. Emmanuel Acho doesn't say the Emmanuel Acho thing unless he plays football.
But you're upside down for some reason. Your camera,
I don't know why I'm upside down. But
he's a vampire.
Yeah, I'm morbid right now.
There you go.
Look,
It turns people off code. It turns into Antonio Brown saying no white
Well,
women.
this would guys this would be a great segue for Brian Flores. We should bring.
You know what? Listen, I think it's all tied in because another element you got to recognize in that question you asked, Brian. Well, it's the backup question is you ask how they keep getting. You said how they keep getting chances. How they look plays a part, and that's in any profession, bro. I'm a great manager in my profession, but I know that a second somebody who's white or don't look black or that they don't look urban or don't look like they speak with a certain vernacular, they're likely to get a job a lot quicker and get paid a lot better and get treated a lot nicer without them earning it. They earn it based on the way they look, whereas we have to earn shit. So it goes into quarterback too.
Out of all the coaches that got hired this past off season, their records did not even match Brian Flores' record. It was within a 2-year time span or something like that. A 2-year time span.
Okay, so this is the funny thing. There was not a black head coach hired until after the Brian Flores lawsuit.
There's that.
Lovie Smith is a credible head coach. If his front office could have found him a quarterback, they probably would have won the Super Bowl. Rex Grossman,
they were able to get Aaron Rodgers out of the fucking visit, maybe.
He took Rex Grossman to the NFL championship game. Think about that shit.
This was the Bears you're talking about, right?
Yeah, the Bears. Yeah. I'm talking about the Bears. He has another stop. He's in Tampa after that, but he's a credible head coach. He's a credible coach, and then he's a credible NFL coach.
He's a good head coach. Fuck credible. He's good.
But we all know what that is, right? I mean, we know what that is.
We know what it is. What I'm saying.
Let me ask you a question. This is something I've been thinking about. Brian Flores isn't the first person to have happened to him to a coach, a black coach, right?
Right.
And they ended up hiring a black coach, right?
Mike McDaniel.
Yeah. He's a 175th Nigerian.
He's 175th Nigerian.
Yeah, listen. So what I'm saying is, listen, what I'm saying. So, wait. Let me get this out real quick. Hold on 1 second.
All right, got you. Yeah.
Do you think that Brian Flores did it? Because it's easy to say he got fired because he's black. That's easy, and it may be the truth. But is there a possibility that he got fired for the same reason that he's a whistleblower today?
Yeah. He also said that homeboy offered him $100K a game that he loses.
That's not what I'm saying. You're not.
So, no. It's tied in together. It's tied in together. To me,
no,
he's a whistleblower. He has principles. At the end of the day, there's a principled man that you're talking about.
It's not just about it. It's not about being principled. So you mean to tell me you think he's the only principled coach?
No. T, that's no.
That's not what I was saying. What I'm saying is that he's at this point he's probably fed up, which is probably past where Tony Dungy was, Lovie Smith, Jim Caldwell. Jim Caldwell probably could have launched the same lawsuit. You know what I mean? 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
There's a lot of what was the guy from Cleveland? The head coach back in the day from Cleveland.
He got paid to lose games.
Yeah.
There's a lot of guys. I'm not saying that Brian Flores is more principled than those guys. I'm not saying. I'm not. So what? Listen. I'm asking: is there a possibility that he got fired because he just wasn't likable? Yeah, black people aren't likable to some certain white people. There's a black person that's not likable to certain white people.
It is what it is.
What I'm saying is, I think that is a part of
Well,
it.
he obviously didn't have a Jason Garrett mentality.
There are white, and I will say this: there are white coaches that aren't likable too, right? And some more successful, some less successful. But as a owner, you feel that you have the right to fire somebody that you don't like. That's, you know what I'm saying? And it does not necessarily mean. Wait a minute.
You're talking about
not necessarily mean. And I'm not saying that it wasn't what it looked like. That's not what I'm saying. I'm merely playing devil's advocate at the moment and saying, like, yo, there are people who, if you had to choose between two people, one of the motherfuckers you don't like for whatever reason, I'm gonna choose the opposite. Like, bro, you annoy me. Because I don't like the way you clear your throat in the morning. I don't want to be around you.
Okay, so that's cool, T, because even the GM is black in Miami still, right? We don't know if he's a Tom. We don't know if he's a Coon or whatever. We don't know.
There's
wait. Let me just say that. Wait. Before you respond, Ron. Before you shake your head, T. We know. I mean, we know there's guys that don't like other black people. There's a lot of self-hatred in the black community, right? Am I wrong on that?
You cannot like a bro. To be self-hatred means you don't.
T. Hold on, wait. Let me just get my thought out. Could Brian Flores have rubbed everybody the wrong way and got fired? Absolutely. The problem is we're drilling down on Brian Flores, right? We're drilling down on Brian Flores. The NFL at this point has 1.5 or 2.5, 2.25 black head coaches right now. 2.8. No, wait. 2.8 black head coaches right now. So whether we drill down on Brian Flores or Dave or Cully or whoever the fuck else got fired as a black coach, doesn't fucking matter. Their practice. So Malcolm X says something, right? I'm gonna just say this. Malcolm X says, you stabbed us in the back with a 6-inch knife, right? You took it out 3 inches. And you're celebrating the fact that you took it out 3 inches. But you didn't take it out of the back. You didn't stitch us up.
Yeah.
The NFL system, the familiarity system you don't have to be racist no more. Brian Flores could have been fired on principle. But guess what? The system's still racist.
I agree.
System's still racist.
Yeah.
That's not for debate.
So it's not about Brian Flores. That's what I was talking about. That's what I was 2 weeks ago when I said Pete Medhurst and I'm fucking and all respect to Chris Russell and Pete Medhurst, well respected. They're journalists in their own right. I don't hate them. They're not racist. That's not what I was saying when I said it. What I'm saying is their fucking viewpoint is predictable. They'll look at it every time the same fucking way. They'll look at, I mean equality, but everybody needs to be judged in their own fucking light. No, that should not be. That should not happen. You know why? Because they hadn't been for 80 years. How long has the NFL been wrong? 100 years now? Or something like that? Yeah. It hasn't been. So there was a quota for white men, which meant all 32 teams or 28 teams or 2016, 24 teams, whatever the fuck it was, at any given time. All the head coaches were white. Why? But now it's, if we get some credence to a black coach, when it's a 70% fucking league of black people, it's you're doing a affirmative action. You're not getting the most qualified. No, they weren't most qualified when they hired them. Rich Kotite wasn't more fucking qualified than the fucking Rhodes. And Sherman Lewis when he got hired at the Jets. Y'all, we talking about Brian Flores. Brian Flores should get another opportunity. He should, because he wasn't a bad head coach. He might have rubbed everybody the wrong way. Why did he? Why did he? We don't know that. We're not in the Dolphins front office right now. We weren't in privy to their owner, GM, head coach conversations about Tua Tiger.
I agree. Everything
So-
you said, I agree with. Like again, like you hit the head that nail right on the head right now, Brian. I completely agree, but I'm just saying, like, the inner work, speaking just for Flores, is that's the only one I would speak about, just for Flores. But it's only an issue when it's like they don't care about us, bro. We know that. You know, they don't care about us unless it benefits. Case in point, Whoopi Goldberg, Whoopi Goldberg gets suspended for 2 weeks for saying that she misspoke, but she said that the Holocaust wasn't about race; it was about inhumanity. And what she really meant was it wasn't just about race; it was about both racism and him being inhumane. But when it's okay to disrespect black folk, Joe Rogan, somebody who I love watching Jeff Rogan. I love his stand-up.
Yeah, let's talk about Jeff Rogan.
He came up. Listen, so I'd given him. I didn't stress about the fact that he was saying nigger, because the context of the word, he wasn't calling somebody nigger. He wasn't referring to somebody nigger. He was talking about what somebody was saying, and that's they.
You pause, and I agree with you. Joe Rogan, in those individual times, wasn't calling anybody the N-word. I'm gonna be Chris Darden here. I'm just say the N-word.
You be right.
I'm gonna say that while I'm talking about Joe Rogan. When I talk about myself, I'm gonna say what I because I don't like the N-word. I don't even like the euphemism of the N-word. What I'm saying is,
people.
right, okay, so T's back.
Because it looks like him when he says it. Nobody's like, whoa, relax. And he's on his own platform. So nobody's going to say, yo, what you doing? You know what I'm saying? There's nobody in there pump his brakes.
But the difference is,
cool.
he grew up in a time when you can say it in context as a white man. You can say it in context as a white. Oh, wait. And I'm not trying to give him no bail. I'm not shooting him no bail. What I'm saying is he can say it in context, and I've heard other white people say it in context. I don't have an issue with that, honestly. Like, what are you gonna call Nas' end album? What are you gonna call it? White man?
I think it's this.
Say it. It's like, I'm Delroy Lindo. I'm Delroy Lindo. Say it. I'll say it with you.
But
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So there's a certain level of arrogance to you saying it in request.
Yeah, exactly. That's the problem. T, you hit that. Yeah, that's what it is.
Because
that's
listen,
exactly what it is.
okay, you did say it within context. You weren't calling some black person a nigger.
Right.
But you could have just said the N-word, and everybody knew what the fuck would have known what you were talking about. So it wasn't like you peel back any onions, no layers. You just showed that you're arrogant. And you're on your own platform, you're making a lot of money doing what you do.
So
to the point that now you're talking about neighborhoods, and you said there's a black people and you refer to them as the planet of the apes.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And then what makes it even worse, and it's breaking my heart, is that now you have other white comedians, you have comedians coming out. Listen, I'm not saying you gotta cancel somebody, but you it's okay to check a nigga.
Yeah.
You can check them. Don't post a picture of Joe Rogan and Dave Chappelle, or Joe Rogan and fucking Donnell Rollins, and be like, oh look, he's an app. No, motherfucker, you're not an ally if you say shit like that. Whether you racist or not, nigga, that's some racist shit. And here's the thing, dog. somebody should slap the shit out you for it. Since Spotify not going to suspend you or fine you for saying some racist shit, this okay? You did MMA fucking videos. All right, fine. And let's find an MMA. Let's have John Bones Jones pull up on you and slap the shit out you then. Since you tough.
Wait, Spotify didn't
Spotify has done nothing to Joe Rogan.
So India Ari was like, yo, y'all pay that dude money. What the crazy part is, Spotify is built off the music artists, but the music artists are getting pennies compared to the people, the content creators like Joe Rogan.
It's ridiculous. With that's a whole nother topic.
And I was I actually saw the compilation that she posted on her IG. I seen that nigga that where he said nigga like 50, 60, 70 times or whatever it was. And I seen it already. I was like, damn, he got that Quentin Tarantino syndrome, where he wants to say it so bad that he gives himself the cushion. Like there's like I wasn't saying it because I wasn't calling you that, or I wasn't calling black people that. I was just saying it. I just want to say it in open air, right? That's to me, that's the Quentin. That's why I don't fuck with Quentin Tarantino, even though I know he's a great filmmaker. I know he's gonna. If I don't say that,
I agree on that. I don't like that part. I don't like that part about Quentin Tarantino.
It's obvious that he's writing himself into these places. He's writing himself into these characters so he can say nigger. It's obvious. He's done it for 15 films.
That's all that is. That's all it is.
He places himself in these conversations.
He literally wrote Django just to. He literally wrote Django just to.
Shit, bro. Instead of dead nigga storage. Hey.
And that was fun. You know what was crazy about it? That scene is fucking funny. That scene is fucking hilarious. But I also know, I'm like, yo, fuck Quentin Tarantino, because I know that he did that just so he could say that shit. Yeah. I know it.
Yeah, he could have gave that line to Sam Jackson. He could have been like, yo, man, I know that's no dead nigga storage. He knew what he was doing.
Yeah, because he wanted to belittle the black character and also say the N-word while he was at it. Anyway, what I'm saying is this. What are we talking about? We're talking about Joe Rogan. So Joe Rogan, I'm okay. We'll kill. We'll. But what I'll say about Joe Rogan,
Mo Hogan,
is exactly the same thing. He's on his platform. He's interjecting himself into places where, like, conversations about the N-word. Why? Why is any white person in their life think about this shit that much that you say it 70 times? What are you talking about?
It's terrible.
Why are you talking about nigger that many times outside? There's no black people that and I also said this. I said this last year, Ron. Hold on, wait. I tweeted this and I said this. He's had all these comedians. He has UFC guys on. He has the white Jordan Peterson guys on, whoever. He has had two black people that aren't directly entertainers. And Killer Mike is an entertainer at his heart. He's a rapper. But he's also he's a political activist, whatever. Those are the only two. He had Killer Mike and Cornel West. He didn't say nigger in front of them niggas.
Of course he didn't. And that's what I said.
Nigger. He didn't bring up any episode where he could have to bring up nigger in front of those people.
So let me ask you a question, straight up and down.
Any other black man. So
you think Joe Rogan's a racist?
No, I don't think it's racist. What I think is he thinks, but at the end of the day, he benefits from. So racism is a thing, right? So he benefits from being white. He likes benefiting from being white. I'm feeling superior. So at the end, he's probably like, he doesn't dislike black people individually, but I can't fuck with you. You know what I mean?
This is the one.
I can't fuck with you.
This is the one thing I'll say that white people and anybody that's not black, this is what y'all need to understand. You cannot be admonished of being considered a racist because you have a selective amount of black people that you like. Motherfucker, you still racist. If you can't on general merit not dislike a person based on their race, then you're fucking racist, dog. Sorry. So cool. Okay, you cool with Dave Chappelle. Who the fuck wouldn't be cool with Dave Chappelle? You winning if you cool with Dave Chappelle. You winning if Dave Chappelle will come on your show or know your name. So that you don't get any points for being cool with one of the more popular people in the fucking country. Sorry, no points. None at all.
No. What I'm saying is, okay, yeah, and I agree. Like even to that, he said, I think he was talking to Wyatt Cenac in that clip where Wyatt Cenac said he was biracial, and this man came out of his mouth and said, "Oh, that's the best of both worlds. You have the body of a black man and the mind of a white person." He realized said that to that man.
Wow. I think that's all.
Wait. And you know what he does?
There's nothing else to say after that.
He said he had the body of the black man. He has the best of both worlds, a body of a black man and the mind of a white person.
That's what Joe Rogan said?
Joe Rogan said that, and he immediately said, "Oh, that's racist. I shouldn't have said that." He said that right after that, right? But why the fuck does that go to your mind at the beginning of the fucking thing? Why do you allow yourself to say that to somebody?
Just for clarification, because I really don't. I mean, I don't really pay attention to Joe Rogan. I honestly don't give two fucks about him. But
I think Joe Rogan's funny. I think it's
what
funny.
is I know nothing. I'll be honest. I know nothing about him. I know nothing about Joe Rogan. I know of him. I just don't know. I know nothing about him. So how much? Huh?
Check out his last Netflix special. He's funny.
Yeah, he's funny. He's funny.
I'm not, but okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, shock value wise, is he like a Howard Stern?
No,
he's not.
He's not a shock jock.
He's not a shock jock. Okay.
No.
Okay.
Not in my opinion. He's see. Here's the thing. He comes off as somebody that's keeping it real.
Yeah, fair minded.
He's a realist in a sense. But you come across a lot of white folk who paint themselves as realists when underneath you peel them layers of paint. There's that superiority complex.
Yeah, there's a superiority.
So you dash. It's a thin line between just being, you think you are superior. Obviously, you think you're a superior race, even if it's just mentally. You still think you're a superior race.
To be wholeheartedly honest, outside of that that Chappelle skit that he was in, I know nothing about him. I know nothing about this man. So I don't.
Why are we talking about Chappelle? Did you see this? See that he kept affordable housing out of his neighborhood in Ohio. Like he
kept affordable housing out.
Yes, he threatened to the government in Ohio, the little town that he lives in, that if they continue with the developer to make affordable housing, that he pull out of any investment and move from.
He would move.
And I thought that was crazy.
I never heard anything about it, but
it came out the last 2 days, bro. So I'll put it in.
Yeah, I'm gonna look into that. That's.
Did he give a reason? Did he give a reason for this?
I don't know. That's what I had to listen to like the. No.
Yeah, I'll hold my opinion until he has the opportunity to respond to that type of shit.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he spoke at a town hall meeting and said and reiterated. He said that to the city council or whatever, the town council, whatever it is, that were developing the or helping the developers, whatever, and wanted the certain percentage of that housing development to be affordable. And he said that to them, and then he said it in live in a town hall setting. So I need to. I do.
It all depends on what. Yeah, it all depends on what.
So let me play. Let me try to play into this real quick. So the people who I've seen that lives in his area don't look like me.
They're 80. It's an 82% white area. Let me just.
They don't look like.
Give you the exact numbers.
So
I already know that.
So there's been plenty of times where people who have nice property will vote against having people who don't have shit coming into their neighborhoods and lowering their property value.
That's a fact.
So that makes them just from a business standpoint.
But wait. So you say that, yes, and that's exactly right. But as if you're Dave Chappelle, if you're Dave Chappelle, wait, Ron. If you're
go ahead. No, because I know what you're gonna say. Go ahead, yeah.
If you're Dave Chappelle, and you say what you say, now you're talking about. I'm talking about transgender. I'm talking about none of that.
No.
I'm talking about. You talk about poor Black people the way you talk about them and not getting opportunity, and you're not even like giving the opportunity to put affordable housing in the area that you.
So who though?
I don't know.
Listen,
you don't know who. We don't know who. We don't know if the people from the Black people say, "Yo, I want to go to Yellow Springs, Ohio," and this is this affordable housing that's coming up.
How often do broke Black people fucking migrate? Look, broke Black people don't fucking migrate.
Black people migrate all the fucking time.
Broke ass Black people don't migrate to fucking Ohio. No.
Guys, there's two things. There's two things.
Broke Black folk do not migrate to fucking 80% majority white folk that's rich. They don't do
it.
You know, DC was 80% Black. It's 50% Black right now. Where do those poor Black folk go? Where did the poor Black folk go from DC? Where did the poor Black folk go from DC if it's 50% Black right now? When it was 80% 15 years ago.
They went to Maryland. They went to Waldorf.
Exactly. So that's migration, my
It
G.
ain't the same. Right.
It is the same. It's exactly the same. That's what I'm saying. Cleveland is a 65% Black town, city. What I'm saying is, if those people, if there was a group of fucking Black people from fucking Cleveland and said, I want to go to Cincinnati or where the fuck.
We gotta factor in three things, guys. We gotta be really honest about this. We can't. This skin is beautiful. This skin is beautiful, but we gotta be honest right now. Number one is Dave Chappelle. There's not you can't tell this man there's nothing this man cannot say. There's nothing. There is nothing that this man cannot say.
Okay.
That's number one. Number two, we do not take care of nice things.
I'm not gonna co-sign that.
I'm going there. No, I'm going there. I'm gonna go there.
But we're not
call
talking
it
about
what you want.
Who is we?
Yeah.
That's
Black people.
That's not true.
We don't listen.
No, that is not true.
You put a Nike, you put a Jordan store in a rural neighborhood. We are fucking that up. Okay?
No,
we're fucking that shit up.
Ron, poor people don't have the means to take care of things and be nice with them because they don't have it. But here's the thing.
So when you add that equation, when you add that factor to that equation, Dave Chappelle doesn't listen. Chappelle is in an area where he is not bothered. If we invade that, he's going to be bothered.
You are not Bro,
Well,
you are not.
wait. So T, so Ron, my statement was hypothetical. I don't think black people are going to be in that affordable housing that they're actually going to make. It's going to be white people. He was denying
into the affordable housing. You're saying?
Yeah, he was denying people upward mobility, the thing that he actually had, and that's why I don't fuck with a lot of black people that way. There's a lot of black folk in the county that I live in, the most affluential black county in the fucking world, are the same fucking way.
I'm gonna give it to you straight, Brian. I'm gonna ask you a question. It's gonna be rhetorical, and I'm gonna keep it to you straight. If you turn on the TV, right, ESPN Friday night, it's two random boxers boxing, right? One is black, the other one is not. Who you rooting for?
The black one.
All right, so that answers your question. I don't give a fuck about it, nigga. I don't think that it's. I don't think it's black people, and he's probably being prejudiced to fucking poor white people.
Yeah, probably.
Because rich white people aren't just prejudiced to poor black people; they're prejudiced to black people.
It's more classism there.
Huh?
It's classism with rich white people. It's classism.
There's classism
and
racism.
Hey, let that man stir his drink, baby. Stir your drink, Dave Chappelle.
Hands down. At the end of the day,
I don't think that's the way to go, man. I don't think that's the way to go. That's not. I don't think that's how you respond to racism.
Wait. So do they not vote? Do Dave Chappelle have political power? Is it not up to a vote?
Because he got that fucking affordable housing shit pulled.
So you think it was just Dave?
Exactly.
He got that shit.
He got the shit pulled, right?
Hey,
he has political power. Absolutely.
His cousin
Ben Jealous was a candidate for fucking governor in Maryland partly because of how much fucking Dave Chappelle got behind his fucking campaign. Yeah,
at some point,
to answer your question, yes, he does.
At some point, y'all are gonna be able to see the Dave Chappelle Untitled. And you'll see the process in which he had to go for voting, for zoning rights and shit. It was tooth and nail. So this whole thinking Dave Chappelle got this much power, that's why I said just wait. Because he had to fight, and he needed a lot of people that don't look like him.
I mean, that's all good. I get that. And I'm not trying to cancel or try to make a verdict of it. It's just interesting. It's just interesting.
It's supposed to be interesting.
I think that you can't, especially with the audience that he has, which is mostly white, obviously. You can't be the defender of black. What do you say? The black community, and the defender of the poor black community in general, in particular and specifically, and then defend yourself, and then
protect yourself,
destroy the opportunity for affordable housing. Affordable housing in one place is affordable housing everywhere. I think that's where you can, because that's happening everywhere. White people are denying, they're grouping together and keeping affordable housing out of a lot of areas, even in Washington D.C., which is still 50% black. Still to this day, even though it was 70, 75, 80% black 20 years ago.
Yeah, it's gone down, huh?
Yeah, and no, it's not Chocolate City no more. It's Montecito.
Wow.
So what I'm saying is, those areas that were white or whiter, and there's black areas that are white now, and they're denying more affordable housing in those areas. So what you're doing is modeling after the white people who gentrified those areas. You're modeling yourself after that. So what I'm saying is, so in my opinion, if and I'll go back and you know and look at everything he said. If I'm gonna model myself after white liberals and deny affordable housing and halfway houses and second chances to Black people, while I'm saying Black Lives Matter, then there's an incongruity there. There's a disconnect. There's a disconnect. And I can you know, you can talk about, you can have a business he spent a lot of money to hold what he has there in the real estate. You know what I mean? That he's gonna build, he wants to do. I think he wants a restaurant there and wants to do some other things, but I don't think, first of all, I don't think the affordable housing in one little neighborhood is gonna affect that, but also that you gotta look at how you and how your power is wielded as a person with the platform you have. It is. That's my
Can I ask you guys? Let me ask you guys a question real quick. I mean, Chappelle moved to where he moved. Why?
So we can get away from LA. And
who knows?
He can get away. He can get right so that he can get away from nobody, because nobody's coming to. What is he in? He's in Ohio.
But he's lived in Ohio for a long time, though.
But what I'm saying is nobody's coming. Nobody. What the Joakim Noah said. Nobody's going to Ohio. Nobody's going to Cleveland. Like nobody's going there to visit.
Yellow Springs, the town's called Yellow Springs.
It's what Joakim Noah said about whatever Joakim Noah said about what he said about, you know, Cleveland and Ohio, you know, when they were playing against the Bulls in the playoffs back in the day. Nobody's going there. Right. So you're not going to draw. You don't want to draw any type of attention to where I'm living. How far is that neighborhood from where he is?
No, he's right there. That's his neighborhood. That's his town. The town.
Right, and that's what I'm, like, you know, if everything is good and everything is cozy, do you want change?
So okay, so here's the thing. That's obviously you want to think about those things, right? If you live in a comfortable area, right? Uh-huh.
And you have a platform, you have a voice to say something, and you don't want change. If everything's going, if the neighborhood, if the community, if everything's going good, you don't want nothing to ruffle feathers, nothing like that. Would you want change?
I think there's. He's gonna say this. I think there is a individual impulse for the things to stay the same, Ron. Then there is if you're a person who does what Dave Chappelle does to build himself on a social platform, semi-activist is or wants to bring awareness to things that the underprivileged have gone through, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There is a certain sense that you should probably get out of the way of change, especially if it's for the betterment of people less that has less than you.
And I understand that. And I understand that. At some point, go ahead, T. I'm sorry.
No, I think y'all listen. I'm playing devil's advocate, but at the end of the day, like I go back to the analogy, bro. If I see two boxers fighting and I don't know either one of them, I'm picking the black boxer. Just because. The whole point of it is just because.
That's 100%. Yeah.
Just because.
Yeah.
It's so motherfucking what? You shouldn't have oppressed us for 450 fucking years.
No, and I agree with you 100%, bro. I'm saying if one person black person who's moving into that neighborhood that could afford it because there's affordable housing in that neighborhood that couldn't afford it if there was all $600 million houses going up, that's better than zero. Understand? So you're denying everybody, period, before anybody gets a chance to put a contract on that land. So
I agree. I
all I'm saying. And that's all I'm saying. I don't. That's my initial thought. I don't have a lot of information. I don't have a lot of information. That's my initial thought.
You got anything else before we wrap it up tonight?
Information I have. Yeah?
Do you have anything else before we wrap it up tonight?
Watch Boba Fett. Watch the what's the show, Felicia? What's the show? The woman across the window with the whatever. Yeah, one across that got murdered across the street. The girl in the window, whatever. Netflix show.
Oh, that show with the longest title in like history.
Yeah.
The woman that looked outside the window and she saw the ice cream truck running by, and then
while drinking your juice in the hood.
While drinking your juice in the hood. Yeah. Oh, that's a. I want to see. I want to see that. Can I give a shout out to Quinta Brunson and the ABC?
Yes.
Elementary. I love Abbott Elementary. Quinta Brunson, genius. I want the show to run for 10 years.
Absolutely. Yeah. Dope.
Make sure y'all go watch The Legend of Vox Machina. It's a great anime.
That's good. No, I like that. I binged it, and I didn't know that was coming out every Friday. And I thought, oh no, let's back up.
It's on IMDb TV.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. It's good.
It's serious. Huh?
Also,
I haven't seen it.
The other show I got for y'all.
We're gonna watch it. We're gonna watch it. But there's a 3-piece documentary on Fat Tuesdays, which was like a black, like Guy Torry started a black comedy night in LA or whatever. And there's a documentary on it, and I'm gonna watch it on Amazon Prime. But it's on Amazon. Watch it.
And another one I'm watching that y'all should watch, man. It's a good show. I'm proud of this dude. Watch, like, whenever they ascend from this place and become greater, man, I love it. So shout out to John Cena and the cast on Peacemaker.
Great show.
They got something on their hands.
Crazy show. Yeah, Peacemaker is crazy. Yeah.
With that being said, fellas,